technical difficulty at the moment. I can't seem to hear myself. And so I am not sure if you're hearing me, but if you're hearing me, if you could give me a little bit of a thumbs up, that would be really awesome. My headset is not working. So I don't know if you are hearing me or if you're hearing the music or anything like that. So give me a thumbs up and let me know if you are hearing anything coming from my end. That would be really awesome. I don't know why I'm not hearing anything. So let me check the comments and see if you are hearing me. Okay. Wendy, I think Wendy is hearing me. Okay, great. So I am going to just I guess I'm not really sure why I am not hearing myself at all. So anyways, welcome to Facts and Two Cents, everyone. I hope the music was okay because I can't hear it on my end. So I hope it was okay. I hope, you are well. And welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Polo again. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And oh, what a wonderful day it's been so far. Yes. So, as you know, we support the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Pula, Guy, the chickens, Mama Mia, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful day where I am. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are as well. So anyway, welcome to Spare Thursday. I am just so excited. I don't know if about you, but yesterday I saw this article from the New York Times, and they said it was, they said the date it was going to drop on January 10th, and I was like, when I read the article and they were quoting like the Daily Mail and Valentine Loan, I was like, no. I even tweeted about it. I'm like, I don't know why people are, taking these people's word when there's no confirmation and all. I totally didn't believe any of it. And then, of course, we got this big confirmation today that, yes, in fact, so, I don't know that I owe them an apology. I mean, for good reason, I did not trust anything that has the Daily Mail as a source. So anyways, I am just so excited about Harry's book, his memoir. And I don't know about you, but talk about genius title. This is so genius because we know how they've used the spare trope. Again, talk about archetype, the spare trope against Harry his whole life. He used the spare. They would throw it at him to minimize him, to, make him less than whatever you want to do, and use, how the royal family, we've talked about this so many times in this episode, on this podcast, about how abusive that word is when especially using it with children, and how, they basically are where their whole life is about, serving the person who, by accident of birth, no matter what their qualifications are, their whole life is about, basically being thrown under a bus in service of the heir, and so we've talked about it so many times. I think who it was, one of those squaddies did an incredible podcast, I think, once about this as well, about how abusive the spare and how they are treated. And it's child abuse, and talk about Harry just blowing it out of the water and taking that title and, for me, basically throwing it in their faces, and we know, from Harry's life and how he's lived his life and what he's accomplished, he is nobody's spare, and so I am just, I can't wait. And my thing is, and I even tweeted about this. I'm like, you know what? On January the 10th, if the Lord keeps me alive until then, I don't care what is going on in anybody's life. Please don't attempt to contact me. Unless you're about to die. And even then, really think hard if you really want to contact me then. I'm kidding, but but it is just like, you go, Harry. It's so funny. When I saw that title, I was just like, I can only imagine Meghan writing a book, and the cover is all those things that they would throw at her. The title be Duchess Difficult, and all those things, those angry black women trope names that they would throw at her, like Duchess Difficult, me gay, and all of these things that they would throw at her, and she has that all over the cover, throwing it right back at them and confronting them and putting it in their faces. I can only imagine. I mean, that's just me because I'm petty, but Meghan is so sweet. I'm sure she will never ever do that. Yes, Raven. So, wait. I just saw Raven saying it. Raven, where are you? Yes, Raven mentioned it. Ivy from Sussex Global did a podcast on this. That's it, exactly it. That's who I was trying to remember, which one did that podcast, and it was fantastic. So if you haven't checked out Ivy's podcast, Baron always talks about Ivy. Ivy hair. That's Baron's word for Ivy. Ivy hair. I love her. She's amazing. And if you have not, check out her podcast on Despair. It is amazing. And it is extremely abusive. And I am so, and I could imagine them shaking in their boots now because they know what they have done to Harry. And especially using this word to keep him in his so-called quote unquote place, and did the same basically to Meghan, keeping them in their place because of this word, because of this, and the black woman, the angry black woman trope, the whole bit is what they did to them. So I can't wait to read it. It is, I don't know. I was just like, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared. I was all, happy with, just calling the New York Times a liar. That's how I was happy doing that, and was focused on. And it's so weird. It's like I was all focused, and I put it in our community page last night. We were all focused on voting for Meghan because, as you know, Meghan Archetypes got it nominated for the People's Choice Award. And so I was all focused on that. And then this happened. And then I got so caught up in despair that I forgot to bring in anything about the People's Choice Award. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. But fear not, it is in our community page. I posted it there yesterday, and also how to vote for Meghan. You can vote every single day until, the awards for our fave, and make sure that she wins that award for People's Choice Award for Best Podcast or Podcast of 2022, which is awesome. So yes, again, she is nominated. We just need to vote for her so that it wins. So, and again, you could do that every person could do that every single day until then. It's weird how they do that, but yes, you can vote for every single day until the award ceremony. And that is fantastic. But back to back to Spare. I mean, and this shot is so military. This is military Harry. It just like, and it's just in your face. He is looking you dead in the eye, and it's just like, I dare you. I love this because it flies in the face so much of how they're, the last few weeks is like, oh, Harry's afraid. He is going back on his word. They are trying to take things out of the book and take things out of the documentary and all of this stuff, trying to paint the image of Harry being afraid, or he's trying to, minimize or take out the, some really strong parts that may affect his father or may affect the queen, whatever about the queen, and all of this stuff, trying to make it seem like Harry is all of a sudden backtracking and afraid to, present his book and also the documentary as is. And so it is just amazing. The only thing that I was surprised, because they had said it was going to come out in the fall, and so that's what I was expecting. It was going to come out now, but it's a lot of time I don't know if they put it out now because someone gave the Times the scoop. They might have been when it first dropped, we first heard about it last year, or was it the beginning of the year? Whatever. I think it was late last year. I think in last December, I think it was that we heard about it. I think it leaked, and then Penguin Random House put out the word that yes, they're doing it. So I don't know if they put it out now because of that, but whatever it is, I just it's just amazing. Anyway, so this press release, just in case you didn't see this press release, it came out with its Spare, the highly anticipated memoir of Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, to be published globally on January 10th, 2023 by Penguin Random House. Spare, simultaneous publication in 16 languages worldwide. Oh, the palace are probably like peeing their pants right now. You mean we're gonna learn? The Crown is just coming out, and maybe the docu-series, the Sussex docu-series may come out right after that, and then we have to deal with the book. Oh my gosh, you can imagine. A lot of incandescent plates are going to be flying across the room. Anyway, it says, the memoir of Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, will be published globally on January 10, 2023 by Penguin Random House and is announced today by Marcus Dole, Globe CEO of Penguin Random House Worldwide. The book cover was also released and can be viewed at, obviously here is the view. Spare will be released simultaneously in print and digital format in North America by Random House US and Random House Canada, and in the UK by Transworld. A Spanish language edition titled Spare en la Sombra, I'm learning, I'm doing my Duolingo, will be published by Plaza and Janus Penguin Random House Grupo Editorial. In all, the book will be issued in 16 languages worldwide. So if the royal family thought they had issues with the crown, child, 16 languages is going to be hearing your mess. Anyway, again, the book is about Harry, but obviously he'll talk about them. Anyways, it says an unabridged audio edition of the book, read by the author, which is what I am so excited about, will be released by Penguin Random House Audio in digital and physical format on January 10th. The book acquisition negotiation, and it talks about all of the the people that are a part of it, etc., etc. And then I'm just going to move my little scrolly thing. Again, if you have not subscribed, if you're new here and have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Click that notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. The other stuff we'll come back to at the end. Please also like and share the video. Like us, please. But at the end, it says Spare takes readers immediately back to one of the most searing images of the 20th century. Two boys, two princes walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror. As Diana, Princess of Wales, was laid to rest, billions wondered what the princess must be thinking and feeling and how their lives would play out from that point on. For Harry, this is his story at last, and thank you, Jesus. Finally can tell his own story and not let a bunch of biased, money-hungry royal reporters and so-called biographers tell his story. And I love how they said it, for Harry, this is his story at last. And I love that so much. And then also they tweeted about it. They were also, I guess, celebrating about it. We're excited, and this is Penguin Random House. We're excited to announce the remarkable, personal, and emotionally powerful story of Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Spare, the highly anticipated Prince Harry's memoir, will be published on January 10th. And then also, I hope you guys have gone and checked out the website. Prince Harry memoir have its own website. It's princeharry.com. So I will put a link in the show notes at the end so you can just click the link and get there. And my favorite part, again, about all of this is, At the bottom of this, it's like his words, his story, and it says the audiobook would be narrated by Prince Harry. So all the time they're thinking like, oh, Harry's backtracking and all of that nonsense. Harry's out there, recording his audiobook, and so it is just I'm definitely going to get both copies. My mom and I were talking about it. It's like, oh, I gotta get it. So I think, Mom, this will be your Christmas gift will come, as one of our squaddies says, your Christmas gift will come for January 10th. Because this will be my Christmas gift. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So now she knows because she'll be listening. Oops, I forgot. Well, cat's out of the bag. This is your Christmas gift. It'll come January 10th. Because this is what she wanted. So on January 10th, readers everywhere will be part of a landmark publication, the story of Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, personal and emotionally powerful spare, will be published by Transworld and supporting two special charities. And of course, we know that Harry, well child, and also we know he'd already took some of the money from when they do, like, what is it, the forward or whatever they call it, when they give the publisher, all of a sudden I'm going blank on what they call it when they give the author money before the book is published, and all of a sudden I've gone blank on what that's called. But he had taken some of that money and already donated it to Sentebale. So he is definitely using more money to support them and also to support Well Child. So the money is not just for him. Honestly, if all the money was for him, it's his money, it's his life. He doesn't have to give anybody his money. So kudos to Prince Harry. But again, that's the part, I'm definitely going to get the Kindle version to read, but I'm also going to get the the audio version because I just want to hear Prince Harry speak his own words. For me, that is definitely definitely something I am looking forward to. And if you go on Prince Harry's website, princeharrysmemoir.com, this is what you'll see on the left. Those are all the places. If you have not pre-ordered already, any of these places, you can just click on anyone in the anything in the white, and you can pre-order your book from any one of these places, no matter where you are. I guess in those countries, whatever. So wherever you are, click on any of those and you can get it pre-order, which obviously I did. The minute I saw it, I'm like, pre-order. And I just love this picture of Prince Harry. Look at that face. It is military everywhere. Just like that vibe is amazing. I love it. And then this is what he says on his website. He says, it was one of the most searing, exactly, we read it a minute ago. But again, from his side, it was one of the most searing images of in the 20th century, two boys walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror as Princess Diana was laid to rest. Billions wondered what the princess must be thinking and feeling, and how their lives would play out from that point on. For Harry, this is a story at last. And so continuing from there, it says, with its raw, unflinching honesty, Spare is a landmark publication full of insight, revelation, self-examination, and hard-won wisdom about the internal power of love over grief. And I think this probably part of where I could imagine the palace probably peeing, a few people peeing themselves at this moment. This, with its raw, unflinching honesty, which we know the royal family does not like. They don't want anything raw, unflinching, and honest. They don't want anything like that coming to light. Spare's landmark is full of insight. It's full of revelations, and self-examination. And I love that hard-won wisdom about the eternal power of love over grief. This book is it just is epic. Even if it just, gets a 10 on one of those, it's epic, but let's just say I cannot wait for January 10th. And you can also imagine all the tales that would be spun and all the things that would come out, people trying to get ahead of whatever the revelations they assume Prince Harry is going to be talking about. You can totally imagine all the things that they are going to be talking about, um, as based on what they think the book is going to be about. And then he talks a little bit about Harry, the prince. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is a husband, father, humanitarian, military veteran, mental wellness advocate, environmentalist. He resides in Santa Barbara, California, with his family and 3 dogs. And I love that the dogs were included. And it says Prince Harry wishes to support the British charities with donations from his proceeds from Spare. The Duke of Sussex has donated $1,500 to Sentibale, an organization he founded with Prince Cecil with their mothers in their mother's legacies, which supports vulnerable children and young people in Lesotho and Botswana affected by HIV/AIDS. Prince Harry will also donate to the non-for-profit organization WellChild in the amount of $300,000. WellChild, which he has been the royal patron of for 15 years, makes it possible for children and young people with complex health needs to be cared for at home instead of a hospital whenever possible. And then it goes on to talk about all the different languages and stuff that it's going to be published in. And so it is absolutely fantastic. I am going to jump into the chat and see what you guys are saying about that. Church Nelly, hey Church Nelly, you're awesome moderator. Oh wait, no, that just jumped on me. Church Nelly, where did you go? Audrey is saying hello to everybody I see. So everyone who's on this list, Audrey just said hello. And but Church, there you go. Church Nelly, Harry put some of that money up for Archie and Lily's college fund. I'm sure, yep. He is about, Harry's about giving up. But, that book is going to make, tons of money. He donated 1.5 million to Sentibale and again, 300,000 to WellChild. I mean, that, for what I think, the advance is what I was trying to think of. He got an advance on the book. And so for what that book, I'm assuming that what that book will bring in, I think this is a drop in the bucket. Amazing that he is using some of that funds to fund his charities. And people are always like, where are they getting their money from? Well, there you go. He can write a book about his life and have money to help out his charities. So yeah, again, if he didn't and he kept his money, it's his. He doesn't have to give it to anybody at all. So there you go. It's just out of the kindness of his heart he's doing this. So yeah. B10 Power, she's talking to Church Nelly. Hi, I'm jumping off the roof. I'm giddy that the book is within sight. Don't jump off the roof, B10 Power. Just stay on the inside, honey. Just stay inside. We want you to come back tomorrow. C-Max says, let me go ahead and take the PTO for the 10th and the 11th. No need to fake like I'm gonna work. I have 400 pages to read. There you go. Same here. There, I'm already said. Don't expect a podcast on that day because I will be busy the whole day. Don't expect any kind of, anything. I am putting everything off, I know my mom and I are not going to be calling each other because our heads are going to be buried in the book. To all my other friends, I will not be available either. I love it. Cynthia says, can't wait for Tyler Perry's movie Spare. I love this. I could only imagine. Let's see. Lorna says, please vote for Meghan's Archetypes. For the People's Choice Award, she's up against stiff competition from other podcasts in her category. Another Spotify podcast that has millions of listeners. Also, it's so wild because one of the podcasts that's up, and again, I was so about despair this morning that I forgot to bring in anything from the People's Choice Award and Meghan's podcast, is the Armchair, the Armchair Expert that Harry was on when he was when he was promoting the Me You Can See, and you remember he was on the Armchair podcast. Well, Meghan's podcast is up against that because they were also nominated. So it's just kind of wild. I mean, Meghan's podcast wasn't even a, I guess, concept at the time when Harry was on there. And so now here it is. His wife and Armchair experts are up for People's Choice Awards. So yes, let's vote, vote, vote. Thank you, Lorna. And again, Spare just sort of knocked everything out of my mind. Okay, Costello, thank you so much. Good morning, and everyone. And she's like, good morning, Petal, and everyone in the chat. I put my order in. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Kay. And I see another one. Let's see. Scroll down. Oh, Lorna, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And B10. Yes, B10. We, just make sure you stay in the house there. Thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate you guys' support so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we talk about Spare and the Crown. Sasha's like, blood pressures are rising on Shutter Island today. They sure are, because they have to deal with, they're dealing with Spare, they got the Crown. On the next episode, we'll talk about Scobie's article. He wrote an article about, just the hypocrisy really of the press, talking about, coming after the Crown when a lot of the things in the Crown, because Scobie has gotten an advance watch. So he's actually literally watching the Crown right now. He, I guess they send it out to press in advance, but then there's the embargo, so they can't really say anything about the show itself. But Scobie did divulge that a lot of things in the Crown came from the British press. So, and also authors who write about the royal family, so they pretty much have themselves to blame. So, yeah, so we'll talk about that in another episode. Today is all about Spare. So. Good morning, beautiful lady Sonia. I'm happy you're here. Let's see. Sherry is like, Church Dolly definitely has better put some money in Archie and oil the piggy banks. I'm sure they'll be fine. Black Queen says, Verde, Archie, and Lily are going to be billionaires by the time Harry and Meghan are done. Can you imagine that they'll be rich enough through hard-earned money, vice versa. Okay. Their cousins living off poor peeps. Oh, yeah, they're definitely not going to be living off of taxpayer funds, that's for sure. Lord willing, he keeps the money rolling in, that is what they're working for, to make sure that their family is taken care of, and that's great. Let's see. Karen M, our awesome moderator, says, I think the more the book is a success, the more charities Harry will give to. Yeah, which I'm sure is their goal. It's like the more they get money, the more they can give. And hey, you can't take it with you. You better, might as well share the wealth, and especially to organization like Sentibali, and also to Well Child, where families are so desperately in need. So, and all the other charities that they support. So yeah. Sandy says, wishing Margaret was alive to see Harry's solo mission to redefine the Spare role in the firm. The British royal family are so stupid because it's a Spare that brought them here. It is, yes. I think with Harry, and I totally hear with you when saying about Margaret, because obviously she was a Spare to Elizabeth, and we saw what happened to her. We've seen what's and not to blame Prince Andrew's choices on other people. He was one of the Spares, but a lot of his mess, you link all back. I mean, you treat kids as Spare. Again, you could, when you abuse kids, there are two ways you can go. You can either go at it in a really negative, or it affects you in a really negative way, or even if it does, you can also, like Harry, do everything in your power to go the opposite way and to really redefine it for yourself and really try to get a positive outcome in spite of all of that. And so they just have not learned. And so for me, I feel like Harry is sort of carving out a path, because he knows in a few years this is going to be Charlotte and Louis, and they're going to do to them what they have done to him, to Andrew, and those and Margaret and those before them. This is the same thing. They're cute and cuddly now, but the monarchy is going to do the same thing to them. They're already doing it. They're already doing it. And they're going to allow the press to do the same thing to these kids. And I feel like Harry, in moving, carving out a whole role for himself, having a life, getting his own money, having his own family, talking and exposing things, he is opening up a path for not only his kids, but Charlotte, Louis, and all the other kids that are going to come up, probably going to come up after them, that they don't have to live in that situation. They have choices. They can get out and they can actually have a life outside of the monarchy. And so for me, I feel like he is, and again, the person who is the trailblazer, the person who goes out ahead, gets all the brunt of the punishment, or the brunt of the attacks and all of that stuff. And then those come after him have it a little bit easier. But I feel like Harry's like, you know what? I am going to have to go out and create a road for not only my kids, but for my niece and nephews coming behind me. So it just, it's... Boy, what always bothers me is that you have a whole nation of people who have co-signed this abuse. Like, nobody can stand up and be like, people, this is abusive. You don't do this to children. You don't do this. You don't raise a child thinking that they are spare. It's like, you just don't do that. And again, if you haven't listened to Ivy's podcast, please do it. Yeah. Let's see. Joy. Everybody's talking to Church Nelly. Church Nelly, don't worry. He is going to make lots of dollars. Archie and Lily don't have to worry. Absolutely. I don't think they have to worry about it. Let's see. Dolores says the number one mouthpieces have spoken out, just giving the book free promotion, sale contact. They are definitely, they've been a little bit, I feel, and maybe because it doesn't come across my feed, but it feels a little subdued. I think it's because of the name, because the power of that spare role is now taken from them. It's the same way how when Meghan's podcast, the Angry Black Woman podcast, a couple of days ago came out, the response was so subdued because she threw that throat right back at them. She took away the power of that from them, and all of it's like they almost don't know how to respond. And I feel kind of the same way. The nastiness and some of the sting that I would have expected from some of them, it's not there. And it's almost like they're on their back feet trying to figure out, like, okay, how do we respond to a book that's called Spare? This is something we used to throw at him to belittle him. And here he is taking that and putting it as the cover of the title of his book right in our faces. How do we deal with that? And so that's kind of how I felt like some of their responses, the sting is not there, or at least the usual sting. Let me go up reading more. Let's see. Karen asking, can a book go to bookseller before its release date? I have no idea. So if anybody knows, I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know. So if anybody knows, please let Karen M know. C Max says, I bet Diana is in his ear whispering, finish him, or at least comma. Let's see. Going up more. Let's see more of what you're talking about. Joy says the picture is strong and direct. Love the picture. The same photographer who took Meghan's Variety took Harry's picture cover for this book. And it's so funny. I saw that. Now let me I have a picture of it. Here we go. I saw that RS Log posted about it, and I saw what's her name? Is Ramona Rosales. And so RS Locke, as you can see on the left, she posted that it's the same photographer. And I was looking for the photo credit for Harry's picture. I mean, I saw it for, obviously, if you see on the right, Meghan's photos, Ramona, you can see, and I believe it's true because of, as a photographer, you notice lighting. If you notice the lighting, where the top lighting on Meghan's photo on the left, you can see that top lighting, and you see the same kind of lighting over Harry's head, and I'm sure it's that lighting fades out the little bald areas. That's a trick of getting, instead of covering up, you can use lighting to sort of fill in the blanks there. And it's kind of like hide it a little bit. But it's a way of using lighting. And so it's the same kind of top lighting that I see, sort of like an angel light or something like that, or sunlight beaming from the top. So I saw that again. I saw that for Ramona, for she's a variety photographer that did Meghan's, but I couldn't find it. So I actually tweeted at RS Log to figure out where she found it, that it was Ramona. Again, would I be surprised? No, because you can see they're very similar. The lighting is very similar. And so, and also there's another picture of, let me see, where is that picture of them together that you can see it? It's very, very, let's see, where is it? There we go. Yeah, the two pictures at the end with Meghan and Harry, you can see how similar they are. Again, that top lighting at the top and the same one coming down at Harry's, like her work is very similar. And so I could totally see it. I just didn't see in the press release and on Harry's website the photo credit. So I'm not doubting that it's her. I just haven't been able to find the receipt that it's her. So, and then Katerina, actually Anna on Twitter, she put those two pictures together with Meghan and Harry. And Katerina, _Katerina, she had posted this one on the left with young Harry and older Harry, and both military Harry. And I'm going to take away, and you can see the dates. Hang on one second. Where did it go? This thing just jumps at me. But anyway, I can't find it at the second. But you can see, like, it's very military. I think the one on the left is 2014 Harry, and then the one on the right is obviously this Harry, 2022 Harry. So I love it. There's I think the thing that I see in it is just so much power and just grounded power. He's like, I'm not a little boy anymore. I am not a boy. I am a man. I'm almost 40 years old, so I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. Lorna says, I think this book can be a bestseller before the release date because of pre-sales. If anyone in the chat is in publishing industry, please let me know if this is correct. So if anybody here is in publishing, let Lorna know, or let us all know if that's possible. I think it is because, it could definitely be number one before it even came out, I would assume. Will it be, do they have to wait for the book to come out? I don't know. So maybe if someone here is in publishing could let us know, that would be awesome. And again, yeah, 2014 Harry. Harry is so handsome. Look at that face. look at that 2014. It's like, ooh, Harry. Dale, hi Dale. Dale says, the stain is real. Everything they had put out about Harry is something that's going to backlash them, is hunting them now, and they've got to deal with that mess. They got to deal with this. They have made up. Okay, so yeah, whatever they did to Harry, yeah, it's definitely coming back at them. If I understand your post correctly, it's and that's why they know what they've done. They know what they've done, and that's why there's all this like, oh my gosh, And now we probably know why Camilla is in India. She's like, I need to distress. I need to de-stress. I need some yoga. I need to go all the way to India to just do some yoga and just breathe because of what's coming. She knows what's coming. So again, at 75 years old, you need some time away, I guess, in a 735 pound a day resort to de-stress and do yoga and whatever else she's doing. So yeah. Anyways, if y'all didn't do mess to Harry, you wouldn't be upset right now, and you wouldn't be scared. That's all I gotta say about that. If y'all had treated them with kindness and love, there probably would not have been this book. So there. Joanna says pre-sales can send you to number one or bookseller status before your book is officially released. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Thank you, Joanna. I appreciate that for that information. I know nothing about publishing, so I'm just gonna take y'all word for it. So there. Diane says, I would be delighted if Harry put his backside on the back on the back cover, but closed. Oh dear Lord. Are we talking like that? The picture. Remember that picture in Polo when Harry was bending over and stretching and his booty was all in the air? Is that what you're talking about? Is that kind of picture? We are so petty here. I love you. I love the pettiness of the squad. Let's see. Bertha says, and I'm assuming it's talking about going to number one. It says, no, it can't unless the publisher and author agrees. Be patient. Good things come to those who wait. Oh, okay. Well, there's another version of that. They said Bertha is saying no, unless the publisher and the author decides that it does, I guess. Okay. Well, thank you. Again, I know nothing. I'm just taking what you say. Let's see. Anne Lewis. Hi, Anne. Anne says, they probably thought he would name the book Harry's Story. Spare was degrading him as an ad hoc, and as when required. Okay, let me read that again. Spare was degrading him as ad hoc, as and when required. So basically, he was on the back burner until they needed him. The thing that I don't understand with the royal family, I would never understand. And I think so many people question this. You have somebody as talented and just so eager to do stuff and so eager to work. He's a self-starter. He's a leader in so many ways. How on earth does a firm or a company or anybody who knows anything about anything, how do you keep somebody like that down? And table all the a lot of the things he wanted to do so that he can be in a certain way, and you elevate someone who has no passion at all, no desire, no drive to do and seem capable of doing much of anything, and in a lot of ways don't even want to do anything, and it's just I will never understand that. And then be shocked when Harry's leaving. I mean, like, are you people crazy? So unreal. Litlane, hi Litlane. Litlane says the lunatics were saying Harry must trash the book so that he could be accepted back at home. Question 1: go back to who? For what? Exactly, Litlane. It's like, what would he be going back to exactly? For what reason? What is there that could entice him back? It's just like you have to bring something, have to put something on the table that would attract someone. And at this point, nothing they have is attractive. So, and just I don't even understand. Sean says, ooh, baby. It's called the spare. This looks like it may be a little tea. I'm telling you, as they said, there are going to be revelations. And it's raw. And it's like, it's going to be a side of Harry that some people, and probably including myself, would be like cowering under a pillow. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he just said that. Sass says the Deranger's lack of response to Meg's recent podcast is because of her truth spoken by Maya in I Rise. Oh, yep. There's not much, there's not nowhere you can go there. And I think too, especially facing head on the many tropes that they throw at her. And it's so wild talking about that podcast because it's one of those odd things that you come across, because we were talking recently about Whoopi Goldberg and her nonsense, and just basically not listening to the podcast and going off on a tangent on something that she should know better. And you could tell that she didn't listen to the entire podcast, or even probably even listen to it at all. She just got a soundbite and ran off with it, and then going after Meghan. One of the odd things that I've noticed, there is a talk team, and oddly enough, it's a Rupert Murdoch channel. I think it's called Talk TV. It's one of those new things. I think actually it's the same one Piers Morgan is on. So there's a girl who, she's not a squatty, but she posts clips of this every week about, this, like, I think it was like two white girls, a white man and a black girl. I think her name is Afua Scott, I think her name is. And so they've been discussing the episodes. And one of the things that has struck me is, you wouldn't expect, because of, we know what Shutter Island, they just lie and stuff like that. And what stuck out to me was how much this group actually listened. They actually listened to the whole podcast and talk about it and break it down and try to figure out, because I just saw one yesterday where they were trying to figure out the black woman trope and how it fits into the bullying claims. And they didn't, they were really trying. And then Afua was explaining to them about, being a black woman and all those tropes being thrown at her. And she was talking about that's where that's where the bullying came from, and trying to explain. And it's like they were literally trying to understand the black woman trope in terms. So even though some parts they didn't quite get some of it, but I appreciated the fact that they listened to it. They were trying to figure it out and trying to figure out how it played into them, whether it's the people at Kensington Palace not knowing the trope and playing into it, and then not understanding while doing that they are being racist towards Meghan. I appreciate the fact that they were trying to figure it out, and you can tell that they paid attention. They've been paying attention every time, because every time she posts a clip of it, they've listened to the whole thing. And even though they may not get all of it or may not get it right or whatever, they're trying to figure it out. And I was like, okay, even though they're on a Murdoch channel, I appreciate that they were actually trying to understand it. And which it made me kind of sad, because I'm like, that is what I would have expected from Whoopi Goldberg and her team at The View. And that is what I didn't get. And so it was just kind of odd how this team from Rupert Murdoch, crazy channel that employs Piers Morgan, that they're doing what I was expecting the American team to do. And so it's kind of wild how that just kind of reversed there. But at least, it's like, okay, at least they're listening and trying to figure it out. But yeah, so I just went off on a tangent there, but it was just something that I thought was very interesting. Lotta said, I guess by January 11th, the UK is going to run out of gin again. Gin and tonic is one of the national drinks. A few people are going to be alcoholics by then, I would think. This book is going to definitely throw some people over the edge. Joy says the UK press has been selling this book for the past several months by talking so much about it. Yeah, I'm telling you, Harry never have to do promotions. They never have to pay for advertising. Meghan never have to pay for advertising because they do it all for them. It's just like, thanks. Kizendora says, hope through all this mess shows the royal family that treating children differently because of birth order impacts them emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I'm telling you, this is so it. I hope that they do, but I hope that they see it and understand it. At the moment, they still haven't figured it out because you see what they're doing with the young kids right now in the way that they're using them, and exposing them to the press and all that mess, where they right now, they're starting to label kids. And so you would think after all this stuff, but hopefully, Harry's message in his book come across, and the brutality of it comes across, and they understand it. I hope. But knowing this royal family is like, they have no desire to change. They seem that they just have no desire. So maybe if it's all when it's all out in the public and people are talking and they can't hide it, maybe just maybe they'll get the point. Who knows? Yeah. Joy says Willie will do a book. He's following everything Harry does. Well, fear not, Joyce, because let me take away your thing so people could read it. This has arrived today. I saw this and I thought instantly Baron. I broke out laughing when I saw this. Willie Windsor, hair. Harry's book is spare, so Willie is hair. So this account, I guess it's a parody account on Twitter called Will's Windsor. It says, breaking, exciting to announce that Richard Eden, one of those nasty royal reporters from the Daily Mail, is also writing my memoir titled Hair. Where has it gone? Where has it gone? Why has it gone out? Details would be provided by my darling Rose for accuracy, and proceeds will be mine only. I broke out laughing when I saw this. So yep, hair is out already, apparently according to this parody account today. So I totally thought of Baron. I was like, yep, I can see Baron doing this. I love it. So yes, and obviously that Harry's news came out. So of course there was news, they're on vacation, as we know, but trying to make them look like they're doing something. They announced that I think he is hiring a someone to take care of his initiative for the homeless, and so he's paying them £75,000 or something like that to help him. Because his goal, I guess, is to housing for the homeless, I guess. So because this news is out today, of course, Willie wants people to think he's doing something. He's on vacation. But but better news, he has a book coming out, so there you go. Joanna says the title spare is savage. I cannot wait. I know we're all in the same boat there. Let's see. I'm scrolling all the way down. Oh, Church Nelly, I heard you were imitating. I do something when I'm scrolling, and you were imitating me on Baron. Baron outed you yesterday. I want to know exactly what you were doing. What is it you were doing imitating me? I was like, I wonder what sound I make. It must be so horrible. But yes, Baron outed you. I just wanted you to know. John says, let's see. The British royal family and the company tried to bully Penguin Random House. Yeah, good luck with that one. Good luck. I think they're kind of given up on trying to bully Netflix because they probably realize like, okay, we're giving this way too much attention, and then it's the Streisand effect. You try to do something like that, you just bring more attention to it. So there you go. They seem to have calmed down the last few days. I haven't heard them whining as they usually do. Like it's so weird. It's like they usually say like, oh, Harry and Meghan are always whining, yet royal reporters and the news that they claim come from the royal family, it's always whining about something. Oh, you're hurting the queen, you're this, the queen is upset, you're upsetting the queen, you're hurting the queen, or you're hurting the father, and it's just whining over and over, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you people are just the most whining group of people I've ever come across. It's like you whine about everything. It's like they've been whining about how many years have the crown been on. It's just it's unreal. But anyway, Gwendolyn says Kate Middleton's birthday one day before the book comes out, and the media already mourning. They're lucky that Harry is nice and didn't put it on her birthday, just like the coronation is going to be on Archie's birthday. If Harry was really, really want to go at them, he would have put it on her birthday and completely obliterate her. Nobody would be talking about her on her birthday. So they should be really happy that, Harry is a nice person. So there. Elaine says, Petal, it was Baron imitated you and blamed Churchnet. Oh, really? Baron? I really believed him too. I thought. Oops. Sorry, Church Nelly. I thought he said that was Church Nelly. See how trusting I am? I totally believed him. Sorry, Church Nelly. Oops. I'm going to get Baron for that. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh. Lydia says, no, Petal. It is Baron that copies your humming. Church Nelly is innocent. I'm sorry, Church Nelly. I gotta get you some moonshine to make up for it. Some moonshine. Okay, so next episode, moonshine and nacho pictures. That's it. Sorry. Bad Baron. Oh my gosh. And I totally believe him. And I was like, what did Church Nelly say? How did I sound? Lord, you see how what we do as family? Ooh. Oh, thank you, Joanna. I'm going to get a Baron. I'm going to send him a very specific I'm going to send him a very specific message. Oh, the nerve. Sandy Powell says, I'm buying the audio version as well because I want to hear Ginger Avenger's voice replay in my house all the time. That's the one too. I totally am here for that. I'm gonna get the Kindle version because I'm not here for the hard copy. That just takes up too much space. But I just want to hear Harry's voice speaking his own words, because normally, as you know, with audiobooks, a lot of times they hire an actor, or especially a voice actor or something to read it. And so I am so glad that Harry's not trusting anybody's to his words. Yes, he got a ghostwriter to write it, like the book, but it's his words, and so I am just happy that he gets a chance to read his own words and at least to say his own words. And I so appreciate that. I can't wait. I literally, Lord, please keep us alive so we can be here to experience this. I really appreciate this. Let's see. Sandy again says the heir didn't have to do anything because the firm always protected and nurtured them. Sense of entitlement or divine right of kings was encouraged even in a changing world. And that's the same thing. Yeah, exactly. They don't have to do anything. They always have. It's the same thing that I always come down with Prince Charles. Is like he always, and the same with the Queen. They always have someone to fall on the sword for them, no matter what it is they've done. They've never had to take responsibility for anything they do, because they always have someone to protect them, and and yeah, nurture them as they, as they grow or whatever. And then the heir, I mean, the spare is sort of just left there to be thrown under the bus, who takes the brunt of whenever, like William, especially, they mess up. They always have Harry to be thrown under the bus, and or fed to the usually fed to the press. And it's so really horrific. Oh, thank you, Reba. I am going. She's like, Barrett is lying. He was imitating you. Blamed it on Church Nelly. See, Church Nelly, you have all your fam here protecting you from Barrett. We are going to get Barron. We are definitely going to get Barron. Thank you. Wait, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for your super sticker. I don't think I said that before, so thank you so much. Oh, Nutty Doctor, thank you so much. You're here. She says, I guess that is answer to the plan to remove him from the National Advisory Council. And I guess that's his plan. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you always supporting us. And it could be, but I heard that instead of what they're talking about now, that it would be too difficult to remove, and then you don't want to create a situation like, where you're excluding, because comes with a whole other issues, because then you're going to be excluding your son, who has, again, a biracial family, and you don't want Charles would do well to not want to go in that direction, because it wouldn't work in his favor. What they instead of thinking of doing is adding people. So instead of taking away Prince Harry, or they were also thinking of taking away Prince Andrew and also Beatrice, because apparently they're not working royals. Instead of excluding them, they're going to bring more people in. For example, Edward and Anne into be council of state. So that seems to be the direction they're looking at. But I mean, again, Harry, Harry's on another continent. So he's like, dude, my series is coming out, my book's coming out, I got stuff to do, and Invictus is coming. I don't have time for this mess. I really don't have time for this mess. I left, y'all. Please leave me alone. Harry's like, I left 3 years ago. Can y'all just do what you need to do and leave my name out of it? So yeah. Let's see. Joan Garcia, thank you so much. She's like, Barrett still didn't get your exact sound right after all that. So like, he lied about Church Nelly and still didn't get this. Lord. Oh my goodness. I am telling you, I love this family. We are all crazy people, and I just love it. I would not change us for the world at all. Let's see. Kissendor says, what I read, they wanted to remove Harry oddball from council. Yeah, that definitely was is what they're talking about. I think somebody brought it up in Parliament, and or wherever they were, House of Lords or wherever. I didn't get exactly who was doing it, but they definitely did bring it up, and so apparently they are probably and what I understand now is that they're rethinking how to do it, instead of excluding, bringing more people in. Again, Harry's on another continent. So there. Deborah. Oh, I like that. Deborah. Deborah says, Parker, are you sure about that? They're still deliberating about it and waiting for what C3, Charles III, will say, so that they can go ahead and remove them permanently. Okay, well, there you go. That's another, I guess things are going along. The thing about all this thing about Council of State is, I'm like, look, your country is a mess right now. You people are on your third prime minister in 2 months. People can't feed their families. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their electric bills. And you're talking about counselor estate. If that is your issue right now, that is your issue, really? And so it's just like, for me, it's just, that is simply there as a distraction. That is all. They know that they can distract their, royalists, and they can distract the people that they have groomed to spread hate and whatever else they do. They know that they could do that and just distract people from the fact that their country is a mess. I mean, because why is this important right now? Literally, why is this important? And so it's ridiculous. It's all it is a distraction. So anyways, again, our fave is a continent away. So I don't think he is losing sleep over this. So anyway, let's see what else do I have before I see. Let's see what else I have here. Let's one more before we move on. Beaton Paul says Willie is gonna have Christmas being incandescent with rage. Poor hard-faced Willie. Well, in other words, he'll be just as normal because he's always incandescent with rage anyway. So that's just a normal day for Willie. So that's it. But I can imagine, since the book it's so genius that Harry's like, nah, I want my book to come out in January. Because, they will, Christmas time, it's just somebody's not going to be eating well Christmas, and then most likely they're not going to be doing the will they, won't they go to the UK for Christmas nonsense that they do every year. Will they, won't they? I guess that's out of the, that's going to be out of the new, the narrative that they're going to be throwing as they usually do for Christmas. So anyways, let's see what else I got. I don't remember what else it is I got. We got on to talking about so many different things. Let's see. It's so funny. One of the things that come out too is royal reporters and just royalists, I should say, on Shutter Island are still complaining about the fact that Prince Harry is writing his own book. And it's just like, so our squaddies had to remind people, look at all of the books that has been written about Prince Harry that he had nothing to do with, that he did not, agree to any of these. They've all been making money for years off of this man's name, off of his life, or so-called, at least their take on what his life is supposedly is. Nobody had a problem when these people were writing all these books about Prince Harry's life, and now they have a problem with him writing his own story. And it is just it's the absolute audacity of royal reporters and those royalists to have an attitude, and especially the audacity to try to dictate to Harry when to speak about his mother, his own mother, and when to not. It's like, in their sick mind, they are defenders of Princess Diana, or they are the only ones entitled to write 1 million articles and 1 million books about her, but her own son can't speak about his own mother when he wants to and how he wants to, and however he wants. It's like the entitlement of royal reporters and so-called biographers and commentators. It's the most ridiculous thing I have never come across people like this. That you feel like you could dictate to somebody when and where to speak about their mother. And it's just like, are you people crazy? So I appreciated a couple of our squaddies. Julia Petrie says, can't wait to read this after years of seeing royal so-called experts, quote unquote, authors tell Harry's story. I can understand why he wants a chance to tell it for himself. All these people spent years making money off his life. Yeah, and that's another thing. The audacity, some of them are like, oh, he's just making money. I'm like, none of you had a problem with all of these reporters and so-called biographers writing about Harry and making a mint off of his name. Yet y'all have a problem with him making a mint off of his own name. Again, the audacity of these people. And Maria Brazen Hussey says, this, which is all of those books, is how many books written on this young man. Not one has been sanctioned by Prince Harry. It's great to know all these books, cat litter cleaner, will remain in the trash where they belong. And I agree. I absolutely agree. You know, they have all, including crazy, crazy devil herself, Angela Levin, who can't understand at this moment why Harry would use the word spare as the title of his book. She's sitting there pondering. Is he still angry? Why? You would think with a wife and stuff, he wouldn't think. Does he really still think of himself? That was just, it completely has gone over her head why Harry would use the word. Let nobody explain. Let her just sit there pondering. Just like, ooh, amazing. What else is there? Let's see what else I got. Oh, it's so funny. CBS, they were talking about it, and it's so funny how excited they were all about it. And they kind of thought that Gail would have had some inside track, or she may have read it. And she's like, no, I don't know anything. But obviously it's getting worldwide coverage. There are already covers from different parts, like Dutch covers, French. I think I saw Spanish as well. So I guess all 18 territories that are going to be translating the book, they are going to, you'll see their covers coming out. So I think I saw 3 of them before I came on. But yeah, it just... It's amazing, but it's wonderful. It was just funny watching them. They were so excited. They loved the name. I mean, Gail was like, I love the picture. I love the name. She was just all about it. Dr. Shola is the same way, She was like, can't wait for it, And I think royal reporters expect probably, I don't know. I don't want to put words or whatever, put my thinking of what they probably thinking. But I'm sure they're probably, other than the derangers, obviously, I'm assuming they're probably a little bit like, more people aren't outraged, because I haven't really heard any outrage about it. Because I think what is more I'm hearing is more like people are kind of shocked at the name of the book. And I think that's kind of stood everybody up, and people don't yet know how to respond to it. So yeah. Sean, hi Sean, thank you so much. Thank you for your donation. John says, I can hear the loud echo of Charles in Buckingham Palace hallways yelling, oh, hell no. He must have gotten word the book is coming out. Wherever you are, Sean, I know you heard. I know you heard King Charles, I should say, screaming, oh, hell no. He's not doing that. Although, although he's probably at Clarence House, apparently he's not going to move into Buckingham Palace for probably a year or so, because it is being renovated at the moment. So, and who knows? Who knows if he ever will? But anyways, Ray Raquel says, hi Ray Raquel, how are you? Says, like you said, Petal, it's a distraction from the crown. And God only knows what they're hiding. Chuck seems like such a horrible father. I don't think Hollywood could make this stuff up. He is a horrible father in everything that we've seen, in everything that we've seen. And I think as much as they are whining about the crown is actually really, compared to when you read some of the things that they've done, the crown has actually gone soft. Now, I haven't seen this series. And again, I hadn't watched The Crown until the last series last year. That was the first time I was watching The Crown. So I hadn't seen all the stuff before, because apparently they had liked all that stuff before. And then all of a sudden last year hit, and everybody started whining because, they're not going to be put in a good light. And so, who knows what they're going to be doing, what The Crown is going to be this time. But it's like The Crown, what I saw last year, I'm like, they're actually kind of nice to you. If they were to put all the stuff in there, you would look even worse. You better be grateful they haven't. You better be grateful, honestly, how I look at it, for some of the things you guys do that they don't put in there. So anyways, in my book, The Crown's a documentary. That's I'm like, I'll stand by that hashtag. So, Colette Cooper. Hi, Colette. She says, "Hey, Paddle. Well, the UK will not be spared." I love that, because Harry's memoir, Spare. LOL, brilliant title. Yep. I'm telling you, absolutely brilliant. Um, I just love the genius of that title. Peter Hunt, he tweeted, he tweeted today about the title. It's like, he said the power and the pathos of one word. And yeah, it's just like you can see the pain of that word, but also it's such a power. The fact that he used that word as the title, it has so much power in it. And so yeah, it just, that word, man. And I hope that it's loud and clear for the world to see, especially those in the UK who have been really embrace that word and not understand how brutal it is that you would do that to, especially you do that to children and have them raised as spares, and how brutal that is and abusive. And I hope to God it sinks in. I hope for this, again, the sake of those kids coming up. And, like I said before, someone in the squad was upset at me because I cared about Charlotte and Louis and George. And I'm like, they are children, they're innocents. They have no responsibility for what their parents and grandparents and whomever does. They are children. And the way what I would want for them is what I would want for Archie and Lydia, is what I would want for my own kids. I would hate to see this kind of trope this thing be thrown on them. And they, again, we've seen that they've already started doing it. That hopefully when this book comes out, it lays it out in black and white for people to start getting it in their head how abusive that is, and so that's my fingers crossed, because I would hate to see them do that to another generation of kids. I really would. I wouldn't wish what they've done to Harry on anybody, so, and if they don't change, that is exactly what they're going to be doing. Oh, peace. Oh, thank you, Queen Peace. I am bowing right now. I promise I am bowing. I am curtsying too. Just so you know, I know Baron warned everyone yesterday. When you say hi to Peace, when you speak to Peace, you have to curtsy. So Peace, I am curtsying right now, bowing to you, my dear. Duchess, my dear Duchess, I am bowing to you. So there, thank you so much for your donation. The Duchess of, what is it, Bradfordshire? That's where you are, Peace. Sorry, I don't remember. I think it's Bradfordshire. But if you're on Twitter, you'll find her on Twitter. So again, whenever you come in touch with her, talk to her, see her, you must curtsy. So there. And of course, you guys remember Peace. She was on here a few times. And last time, Peace, you've got to come back, and we're going to talk about how the sickle cell fundraiser and the month went. So I'd love to hear from you. I know you went and gave blood and all of that. So I'd love to hear from you how it all went. And so, yeah, so let me know when you could come on and chat with us. So my Duchess, Her Royal Highness Peace of the Terror. So let's see. Kizendor says Netflix gave a light touch on the royal mess, wondering how they're going to handle that phone call. Oh, you mean the phone call, the tampon thing? That would be interesting. But they don't only have that, if you're talking about the tampon phone call thing, they also have Princess Diana's Squidgygate tape. And it's so funny because around that time with Squidgygate and the tampon thing, around that time is when people there was very much claiming that Princess Diana is paranoid and all of those things. And one of the things that it's so funny, even Robert Jobson, and it's so I'll get back to Robert Jobson in a second, was talking about, because he was he used to work for the Express at the time, and he was saying when Prince William was saying that with the Martin Bashir interview, that her speaking to Martin Bashir is what led to the really his parents, Charles and Diana's relationship really going bad and all of that stuff. And one of the things that he talked about was that, she was paranoid and all of that stuff. And I remember Robert Jobson, it was the only time in my life I've ever agreed with Robert Jobson. He said, that's false. He's like, that is completely false. And one of the things he brought up was exactly this was one of these conversations, because Princess Diana was at Balmoral when was it, no, not Balmoral, it was a Sandringham, I think, for Christmas, when they spent Christmas out there, and she was having a private phone call with one of her friends. Apparently, they were having a moment, I guess, on the phone, and someone taped it and then leaked it to the tabloids. And one of the things he was saying, like, look, even if she was paranoid, she had every reason to be paranoid, because they were listening to on her phone calls. They were, taping her phone calls. And we saw with Charles the same way. That's how they taped it and then they leaked it. And so if she was paranoid in any way, she had every right to be. So I guess I'm assuming Netflix is also going to, show that, or, show that phone call as well. But it's really, it's embarrassing and stuff like that, and sometimes I could even make fun of that. But again, is looking back at the seriousness of what the press and how the press operates, in the sense of back then and even now. It goes back into Prince Harry, his lawsuit against the Daily Mail right now. This is stuff that they were doing. They were listening on people's phone calls, tapping people's phones, listening, recording people's phone calls, recording their voicemails, and then leaking it to the press, and then making money off of the articles that they wrote about it. And as much as I am not here for Prince Charles, it's gross. It is this, if one is a blatant invasion of privacy, and somebody should have gone to jail for both of these, honestly, because this is some of the same things that Harry is suing the Daily Mail for right now. He also sued the Sun for the same reason, and so it's unreal that the press in the UK get away with stuff like this. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. It has to be very embarrassing. And it's just like, as hilarious as, the tampon thing is, and, there's a lot of jokes about it. But again, it is what it is. It is invasion of privacy. And again, people needed to have gone to jail for this. No matter what I think of Prince Charles and Camilla, it is what it is. So, hopefully, with Harry's lawsuit, somebody will be getting, going to jail for something because of this behavior. Let's see. Anne says, Mensa, the interruption of spare as angry do not apply to this narrative. No, about spare. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, Anne. And I think I read this before. I think I definitely read this one before. Sorry. I think I just came back for and read this before. Sorry. Let's see. Ma Jones. Ma Jones says, Paddle Casey, or King Charles III, needs to know, so of us, where some of us were the same age as Diana was during the time he treated Diana like is in public. I saw it in real time. Oh, okay. So I understand what you mean. Like, some of us were at Diana's age when he was treating her like that. And so, yeah. And so a lot of people experience this stuff in real time. And one of the other things that, talk about, people looking down, a lot of people, like a lot of in the press, their thing is like, because American audiences are gonna assume that the crown is real and that it's true. And it's like, American audience, one, were paying attention. We also know what you did to Princess Diana. We also know, yes, not me, I wasn't following that closely, but but a lot of people here knew what was happening. Some of us are, learning now as we go. We didn't realize all this mess, but, a lot of people were alive and know what was happening. And we can figure out, and again, a lot of times that they write this stuff, it's like, something called the internet is there. We can actually Google stuff. We can actually read your commentary. We can read a lot of the press from back then. Now we can still read it and see what you were reporting. We can still read your books that you wrote about those things. We can still watch your documentary where all of you were talking about it. So you can't then now say, oh, no, it's just Americans. They don't know the truth. They're just going to be accepting a lie. How condescending, you know? And so it's just this thing where it's like, oh, no, those Americans, they're so stupid. They're just believing a lie. They don't know the truth that that none of this is true. It's all fiction. Lies. It's either that is fiction or what you were writing all of these years of fiction, because you were the ones writing about it, as Omid Scobie's article, which we're going to talk about in our next episode, which he alludes to, or not even alludes. He said, yes, a lot of this new this new series is based on articles that those same very reporters were writing and authors were writing. So they have nothing to, they don't have a ground to stand on when it comes to this. So anyways, let me see what else I have. What else do I have to talk about? We talked about that before. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I'll keep it on this one. We'll stay on this. I'll stay in the chat for a few minutes longer. And because I think Baron, what time is Baron? Baron is it 1:30? I don't know. I didn't check. So anyways, I will stay here for a couple more minutes until 1:30, and we'll say bye and go hang with Baron if he's on at 1:30. So Joy says, Peter Hunt, author for The Spectator, said on Twitter, the power and pathos, yes, of one word, spare. Yes, he did. And it was very, yes, that word, yes. It is, I mean, the genius of using that is just, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Just like, ooh. Let's see who else. We'll scroll down and see who else has stuff to talk about. Diane says, Navi's talking to Diane, says, Diane Hawkins, I can only get 4 stars to rate Archetypes. Think if you've rated Archetypes before, it won't, if you can't do it again to get to 5 stars, it will only give you to change your 5 to 4 and under. So if you've rated it before, then that's what it will allow you to do. You can't rate it again. Don't ask me why it is like that. I don't understand it either. So that's what I understand it's happening with Archetypes. Ruth disagrees with me. She says, Harry's expression doesn't look military to me. He looks regal, just like he's walking with his family at the Queen's funeral. He is the only one who looks like a king. Oh, I like that, Ruth. Yeah, okay. Ruth sees regal. I see military. There you go. There you go. But I like that. I absolutely like that. But even for me, even at the funeral, he had that he definitely had that regal look, because remember, when all of his bodyguards were around him in their costume jewelry, he did have that, for me, regal. You're right, that regal look. He is the one that actually looked like a king with all his toy soldiers around him. So I could totally see that. I totally could see that. I like, different viewpoints there. I like that. Let's see. And I think I keep going back to Anne. Anne says, Princess Diana needed to speak to someone. The woman was locked away and got no help. I thought her phone was hacked and listened in. Evil. Yeah, she was definitely hacked. She was definitely, somebody listened into it. And, when you read the story about it, how she did that phone call one day, and a couple of people heard it on ham radio, I think a couple of days later or something like that. It was really weird. It's like someone, and they thought it was the military or somebody that listened in, that bugged her phone. And then put it over, I guess, some kind of radio signal or something like that. I have to go back and read the story. And two people on ham radios picked up the phone call a couple of days later or something. And so it just, I think they did it that way to sort of throw the scent off, like, you know, that people wouldn't know who recorded it. But yeah, the way how it was done, they definitely hacked her phone or bugged her phone. So yeah, it just and again, if she was paranoid, which she wasn't, but if she was paranoid, she had every right to be. I mean, if you knew people were bugging your phone, wouldn't you be? I would be so paranoid. I'd be like every single day looking under my bed, I mean, I would be paranoid. So let's see. Cynthia Ashton says, we all as humans live a very paradoxical life, made up of experiences both negative and positive. When we come to accept the complexities of our experience, and when we come to accept the complexities of our experiences, then we live free. Peace. Oh, that is beautiful. I love that. I absolutely love that, Cynthia. I appreciate that. Thank you. So anyways, I think we're gonna end there, guys. Thank you so much for indulging me in all of our spare talk today. I am excited. I know you're excited for Spare to come out again. Please don't forget, in our community page, the link to vote for Meghan's Archetypes for the People's Choice Award is there. The links to pre-order Harry's book is also in the community page, but I'm also going to put a link on it in the show notes for this as well, so you can, wherever you want to get the link to order the book, if you can. So it'll be there. We have a lot to focus on. No need to focus on derangers and all of those crazy people. We have our Sussexes have given us so much to eat. We are full to the brim. So enjoy it, guys. Have a fantastic day today, hanging out with Baron and Duchess of Success. I know they are probably jumping for joy as I am. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia, Church Nelly. Tomorrow, I'm gonna bring you moonshine and nacho to make up for my thank you, Baron. Our awesome other moderator, Karen. Julia Rockin' Cookies and Cream. Thank you guys so much for, again, keeping our space wonderful and fun and safe. And our awesome 2 Cents Group members who support the channel on a monthly basis. Thank you all so much for your support, and all of our wonderful squaddies and family members who support us via super chats, super stickers, super thanks, PayPal, Cash App, merchandise, all of those. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all so much. And we are going to end this. We are going to get jet out of here, back to some music, which I am not going to hear because I don't know why my sound isn't. So I'm hoping you're hearing, because I am not hearing it. So there we go. Thank you guys again. Have a fantastic day. Also, again, if you're here and you have not, please subscribe to our channel. Please click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. Share this video. Join our 2 Cents crew. That would be quite awesome. So have a fantastic day, guys. I love you all, and I will see you next time.